right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we are, game number 2 now of our series, the MDL European Coverage Group A action. Singularity versus Double Dimension. And right now, Singularity up 1-0 on BreakyCPK, joined by Henry. There you go. There's the intro, Henry. I know you like to predict picks right here, so now's your time.
Yeah, two things that are interesting actually that come to mind immediately are the fact that Chen is still technically in the pool. It hasn't been banned yet, and Omni-Knight was banned this time instead of Razor. Double Dimension not wanting to deal with maybe Singularity first pick Omni-Knight now that they aren't first pick, and I guess they're just scared of that. I will say Chen, both these teams appear to have Chen players from my research, and I could easily see it. There's the ban. And then there's Rubik as well. I could easily see Singularity busting out a first pick Rubik. That's a gyrocopter. Actually made it through this time in place. I think the Bane was in place of the gyrocopter this time. I guess since they had first pick on Singularity, they didn't ban the gyro and stuck with their ban.
All right, so a little bit different than the previous game. There's gyrocopter, as you mentioned. And okay, Sand King Ancient Apparition, you were talking about that potential last game. Why we even saw the ban of the hero of AA in the second tier ban. So Double Dimension makes a point to get it here instead before it can be banned out.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the question here now for me, for Singularity, is do you grab something like Rubik? Do you let that get banned? Or are you going to look for something maybe a little bit different in the draft? I mean, there's a lot of different directions you could take it. There's the Rubik. Steel Burrow Strike, Steel AL. I mean, it's generally null field against the magic damage. Generally a very good hero here. I do want to say that I am very intrigued when it comes to bans and picks, so I do like the fact that Singularity picked up that Omni-Knight was going to get banned by Double Dimension, so they chose to throw in a Bane ban and let the gyrocopter in, and then DD was stuck in an ultimatum, do they ban Chen or Gyro, and they chose to ban Chen and let Singularity first pick that Gyro, and I thought that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, good heads up by them as far as kind of knowing their opponents to an extent and preparing for the future picks. So yeah, gyrocopter first picked up. I mean, yet again, I was looking over the stats of the Bucharest Major that just wrapped up. Gyrocopter on top of the list, the most played hero. This is a hero that I've continued to suggest. I mean, the nerfs are coming, right? Like, there has to be some kind of nerf to this hero in the near future. If not this patch, another one.
The thing about Gyrocopter is he's just good at everything. He's always good at all phases of the game. He has a great amount of mixed damage, physical damage, magical damage, AoE, single target, close range, long range. I mean, inherently, the concept of the hero is always going to be difficult to balance just because of how many different things it can do. So that's why you've seen Gyrocopter come in and out of the scene so frequently.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say mega frequently, but when he's in, he's really in, and when he's out, he's really out because it's a very polarizing hero in terms of balance from my perspective.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that they keep it kind of delicate, maybe some like agility nerfs, more cooldown nerfs, slight damage tweaks, those kind of things.
We'll see. Maybe something with the talents to make it a little more difficult to choose certain ones.
Yeah, 100%. I actually think that's a good place to start, is the talents.
Yeah. All right, well, not the final ban, but the 5th ban coming out for Singularity. They took out the Life Stealer before that. You had Terrorblade Juggernaut on the other side for Double Dimension. So very, very core-heavy bans here on either side. Interesting with the Terrorblade Juggernaut bans as well from Double Dimension, considering they already have a gyrocopter. Singularity side, but
yeah, I think they're assuming that it's more of a Virtus Pro kind of setup where the gyrocopter is going to be mid, and maybe they're looking to run a hero that is particularly good against, or that those heroes are particularly good against. Nothing that major comes to mind at the moment, and they're going to run with Brewmaster again. It's actually Double Dimension instead of Singularity, maybe stealing the Brewmaster.
Team pick.
Earth Spirit.
There's Earth Spirit.
I actually think it's really good here, particularly against Brew, just the silence. And I think generally all these heroes kind of suffer against the silence.
Good idea.
I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm not too sure if that leads me to believe. That actually leads me to believe maybe they're going to run a different mid laner and have the Gyrocopter as a carry.
It also means they're going to run a Rubik as a position 5, most likely. And again, that means a little bit less of farm on him. And I know teams usually, we'll see it a lot of the times in that 4 position because you want to get maybe that, like I said, the earlier Blink Dagger specifically on him, but not going to be the case here.
Yeah, I think he's still generally going to be pretty strong just because he has some convenient spells to steal. Even split is super easy to steal and very strong. There's a lone druid pick coming out. Interesting. I think actually maybe that's why they banned Terrorblade and Jug. Those heroes are particularly good against lone druid. I mean, you could spin off the root. Metamorphosis is very strong against lone druid. Super hard for the bear to actually man up against all those illusions, especially if you can get a Scotty on Terrorblade, then it's basically game over for lone druid most of the time.
Razor's still there? Is that maybe a hero that Singularity
it's
can go
okay.
with
It's
now?
certainly decent. I'm looking more in the lifestealer direction. You already have a... Oh, it's a band, sorry.
Yeah, it's banned.
Queen of
Quap.
Wop instead.
I think Quap's generally pretty strong against Brew. Natural Orchid Buyer, really good at blowing him up fast, especially with the Silence of Earth Spirit. Other than that, I mean, you can buy Yules to dispel the root if you want on the Quap.
10 seconds remaining.
I think it's hard for a Lundra to kill in lane. I think these supports
Radiant
are generally going to have a hard time
back.
actually getting close to Quap in terms of killing her, outside of maybe a Smoking, in terms of rotations mid. So I'm okay with that pick for sure.
But yeah, so Singularity is setting up for an offlane pick now. They banned Beastmaster as a result there. From Double Dimension
Yeah,
side.
and that, like I said, that Earth
10
Spirit led me to
seconds
believe
remaining.
that it's going to be more of aggressive mid than the Gyrocopter, and it
5
was. And I think
seconds
that just comes
remaining.
down to you're looking for something more that can take advantage of Earth Spirit's role and kick and actually get kills in the mid lane. They're probably going to ban out another mid laner here for Singularity is going to ban out another mid laner from Double Dimension. I can't imagine it's a lone druid mid against the ET Quap. I think it would survive maybe, but it wouldn't get much for him at all, and that's not what you want when you have a Gyrocopter in the game.
We're going to spend some time thinking about this one because, of course, they go into the ban into their own pick, and so not only thinking about the ban, but what are they going to pick? Again, more leaning towards the off-lane potential. Do they want that beefy frontliner, something like a Tidehunter maybe? Or instead more of it a, squishier initiative, something like a Puck even comes to mind. But see for Singularity side.
I think Puck's alright, especially against the support duo. I think it's pretty strong, and Brew, just having another silence, I think it's alright. Could see something like a
Dire
Timbersaw,
team
honestly. There's the Tide.
So they go the
Very
Tide.
strong against... Yeah, it's very strong against Brew and Lone Druid, and the damage reduction against the Bear is very, very strong. It's hard to zone a Tidehunter with the Bear because he just drops the damage on it. If it
Viper
happens to be a
ban.
Starflame Lone Druid.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm assuming that they ban Viper just because it's hard for
5
a Spirit
seconds
Quap to
remaining.
kill, maybe. And the break is pretty strong against Tidehunter. It's the only real major reasons I can think of. Generally, they have a ton of magic damage, and Viper's pretty strong against that.
Feels like a DK kind of game. Good old Dragonite.
Yeah,
Double
it'd be
Dimension.
practically... Yeah, I think it's very strong. I think it's good laner, good squat for sure. Can just survive and tank the daggers over and over again. And it can generally survive against Earth Spirit Quap. It's pretty easy once he has a point in his stun for sinking an AA to rotate on DK's lane as well. I like DK.
I know Excalibur, he plays a lot of Shadow Fiend too. Would that potentially be a hero here?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Shadow Fiend and Lone Druid in the same game. I do think it's a good Yule Shadow Fiend game if he wants to go that route, and generally that would mean he's roughly making more space for the Lone Druid than, say, farming.
Yeah.
So I think he has good kill potential with the Yules against Quap, and obviously they have silence from Earth Spirit. I'm not sure. I think I'm still looking in a different direction than Shadow Fiend, but it's definitely pickable.
DK, and then I would always not mind seeing something like the Invoker from Excalibur, but not really a meta hero right now.
I can't possibly see Invoker just because Gyrocopter's timings outpace Invoker so much to the point where I feel like if you're not having a perfect game, and they already saw what it was like to be ahead early and just have it fall apart into pieces. Last game, I can't see them going something so greedy as Invoker.
Choose
Death
your
Prophet.
hero.
All right, well, one that we didn't
Thank
really
you for
list. But...
themselves. It's a Dityara Death Prophet. I guess Excalibur's the Lone Druid player of the team.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they're gonna have Death Prophet mid, right? Like, there's no reason to believe that's gonna be a safe lane, or
I don't know. I
Maybe?
think it might be a safe. I don't know. I
Huh.
think they could do it either way. I'm trying to think of what I'd rather want. So I think Tidehunter's going to have a decent lane no matter what. So I think you're more concerned with getting Lone Druid his farm. And it's kind of up to them what direction they're kind of looking. I think it's going to be a Lone Druid safe lane. I have to think. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a Lone Druid safe lane after all, but it could go either way.
The ultimate question, right, is God, there was a game recently. It was at one of the majors. We saw Lone Druid, and sure enough, he went the range build. He went the full on range build, passed up the bear build. Is that a potential, or are you just more likely to see the bear build? Do you think?
I think we're going to see the bear build. I don't know. It's Lone Druid's one of those heroes that it does come down a little bit to player preference. I just can't see the hero build working too well in contrast to a gyrocopter so much.
We'll see what they go with here. As we did have a little bit of an update there, so yeah, restarting the game, and so the lobby took a little bit longer. Get going for game number 2. I think it was just a very, very minor update. Hopefully it fixed the... I wonder if that actually has been fixed yet, the disjoint bug that took place.
It's been fixed. It's been
Has
fixed.
it? Okay. That's
yeah,
good.
that was pretty ridiculous. That's my only hero is Puck that I'm any good at, and I was just playing a game, and all of a sudden I kept being unable to disjoint the things, and that's what that whole hero is predicated upon, so it felt pretty bad. I was pretty upset, but it's fixed now.
Got it now. Smoke play. 5-man smoke here from Singularity. They're up 1-0. Going to win the series 2-0 now, but...
It is going to be a Lone Druid mid.
Excalibur mid, okay. Yeah, that's what he plays, so sure enough.
Yeah.
Safe lane, Death Prophet, the final pick.
I think he's better against the quad,
30
maybe.
seconds to battle.
Just because Tide... I think Tide basically free farms against the Lone Druid for the most part, especially if it's a 1v1. At the very least, he'll just be able to stop the bear from harassing him at all. Whereas Quap, I mean, once you're 5 on the Lone Druid, you still have some potential for rotation into a root into a kill. And generally, I'm pretty interested to see how he'll play around Earth Spirit, or where Earth Spirit, rather, will play around. If he's even maybe considers himself to play in sort of a tri-lane here, which it looks like they're manning up. They're actually not. They showed Tide, but they're keeping 3 heroes here.
Yeah, they were hoping for the first blood, for sure.
I'm not sure what they're doing. Gyrocopter and Tide are in the same lane. Are they going to TP Gyro bot? Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And similar stuff with the boots for Sand King off lane pool.
Yeah. Solon, he's here though with a lift, ready to go. Trying to deter that. Brewmaster will catch the creep wave though, and Adamson knows there's really not much he can do about that. So. Middle lane, Basharuk, he's already going in with that roll. Excalibur feeling the pain. Morbid Venom on the Earth Spirit, but ultimately will survive. But yeah, this feels like it's going to be a little bit difficult of a time for the Lone Druid in the middle. Having to deal with. We'll get some assistance from Sand King nearby. He'll say hello, but now Sand King is going to be collapsed on by Rubik, so a lot of action surrounding this middle lane specifically. Milani barrel strikes through, and he'll manage to live. Right,
yeah,
so
I think all Excalibur has to do is not die and just wait for level 5, and then supports will rotate and fix his lane for him. He's starting off decently, but I can't see him winning this lane or anything like that.
No, he's constantly having to fall back to the Earth Spirit here, and again, the support's rotating, going to be important as you're stressing, but right now, I mean, Singularity almost really having 3 heroes in the middle lane, as Rubik continues to be in that area as well, so now he's heading back towards the bottom, but some mind games coming out. The top lane, it's been really a 1 versus 2, as Mikey did do the creep pull initially. Took some good damage, but fine for now. Death Prophet essentially free farming. So yeah, this kind of goes back to the draft and the conscious decision by Double Dimension to final pick a Death Prophet, as actually hold that thought, because they're going for the kill on a Mikey. As that Kraken Shell pops a Fairy Fire, he's going for the turn kill on Milan, actually. It's not going to be enough damage, though, and indeed, Tidehunter will fall. You see Milan even popping the smoke as a just-in-case precaution.
He smoked to disjoint the tower attack. That would have killed him, I think.
I'll take your tribute.
So that was actually pretty well played. It was still a very good attempt from Mikey to turn that. He was almost certainly going to die, so
yeah,
he sort of just manned up. And he hit all 3 heroes with the Anchor Smash, so they weren't doing nearly as much damage as they could have been doing if he just chose to ram.
Going back to my point, though, again, the conscious decision to draft a safe lane Death Prophet with your final pick, it's... What's the logic there, you think? What are they hoping to accomplish?
I think it's timing-based. They want a hero that, like, when he has level 2 Exorcism and Lone Druid has Radiance, that's when they're really, really good to go.
Yeah.
And they can just go building to building and make Singularity suffer.
This is another kill. The hero block's very successful for Milan. As wow, he actually almost lived. That was a bit closer than I thought it would be, but with Ancient Apparition and that chilling touch, too much damage. And eventually falls.
Yeah, he's having a really rough start. I think this is part of why they started with the Lone Druid mid and not the Death Prophet, is that Death Prophet can definitely help a lot in terms of actually killing with the Spirit Siphon. Whereas Lone Druid's just a glorified maybe Orb of Venom is all and right clicks.
Yeah. And you see here, you mentioned Lone Druid, especially getting level 5, going to be key for him. He just hit level 4, so he's managing. But Queen of Pain is winning the lane, 16-7 versus 10-3, probably as expected.
Yeah, this is going pretty standard for both teams mid. I mean, it's really hard to actually dive this Lone Druid and kill him because he's playing at a distance and he has Savage Roar. But Quap's going to get more farm, and it's more about the rotations in terms of when Lone Druid's 5, will they actually rotate, or 5+, and get a kill with the root, or will they not even bother with that, or will he turn the lane on his own? That's his big timing in terms of the lane moves, at least.
Back.
Bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom. He's trying to live here, and then not only is he going to live, but now Adamson's the one that's in trouble. The rotation from both Ancient Apparition and Sand King, they were not expecting the supports to be there. And they completely get collapsed on, and now Solon being slowed down by that Ice Vortex initially. Another Burrow Strike stun coming out. This is probably killing Rubik too. He has a lift. It's not going to matter though. The auto attacks from J4 are just too strong, and he gets a double kill in the end. So great rotations. Now 4-0 start for Double Dimension here.
Yeah, he's having a great start just like last game on the line. It's a similar theme here for Double Dimension, that they're having good laning setups, good rotations. They're ahead already. Not significantly, but things are going how they want them to go.
Mag bottom lane. Round number 2. Saw what happened last time. This time they're a little more confident, though, that the supports aren't in the area. They'd be right, but Mag, he's more than tanky enough. That was way too little damage to ultimately get a kill on him.
I even saw Excalibur send his bear back to base to get Milan's items in terms of the wand for the Sand King.
All right, your mid being a courier for you. Nice. I guess that's potential, yeah. So good teamwork
So they
right
do
there.
smoke. Excalibur's almost level 5. I'm wondering, it looks like they're going to choose to go bot, though.
Nope. Well, they find Air Spirit. He's rotating over, and they should be able to secure that kill.
Into Burrow Strike combo. They're even going to try and let Mag have it, but Milan's Caustic steals it.
Good find, though. It just happened to be in the right place, the right time. He said they're smoking up to make a play bottom lane, and it kind of just came to them. So they'll take it. Mag, he's being ran at, or he's one running at them. He now falls back to a Thunderclap pop. Level 3 dealing some okay damage, but Mag is taking plenty himself with that Rocket Barrage, and good job by Earth Spirit getting there in time to get him taken out. So Double Dimension overstepping a little bit, and finally Singularity's on the board. Kill at the bottom lane. Radiant's scanning over here. Interesting. Okay, they're scanning the rune spot.
That's got to be the 4th or 5th time I've seen Excalibur TP his bear back to base. I mean, at some point, I feel like you must be losing a decent amount of gold at some point, but maybe not. I mean, it's better than feeding it and losing and giving that gold to Queen of Pain, I suppose.
Yeah, that's the idea. That down here, Milan. Speaking of Queen of Pain, looking to finish the job. Milan, one auto attack. No, he couldn't get it off, and now Earth Spirit's in some trouble, having to turn around. Gets his distance there, but Sand King manages to live, and they're going to pop a shrine together. So yeah, Queen of Pain trying to assist. Not enough, though. Barely keeping that CS lead, but again, no kills here in the middle lane either, so you could almost say, again, it goes back to Lone Druid's doing what he needs to do, really. Staying alive and at least keeping up a good pace against the Quap.
Yeah, and eventually he'll be able to jungle and then go back to lane and jungle and go back to lane and play how he chooses and get good farm from that while Death Prophet takes towers and they group up probably as 4. Mag managed to die bottom to the trio.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, I was watching top lane with that exorcism used from Ditya Rod, just pushing the towers mentioned, so
Radiant's top tower
kill at the bottom lane, but we'll see how much they can stop this top push. They are sending TPs. Solon's here, Mikey kind of running at him, but again has to respect that damage of the exorcism J4.
He's invested all of his early gold into build-up items, Wand, Aquila, and Clarities and Raindrops.
He's tough to kill right now.
Leverage his laning advantage into a pretty strong early game. And we're seeing rotations from the supports finally to Excalibur's lane, trying to kill Basha.
Nice stun. Actually hits them both and sets up the Queen of Pain ultimate with the Sonic Wave. They're going to at least kill Milan. J4, I don't think he's not, well maybe. Mastermind, he's blinking in very aggressively. Not much mana to work with though. And that'll be the end of it with a Savage Roar pushback. So good initial kill though. Sonic Wave set up. Double Dimension, a little too greedy once again. So yeah, you mentioned Death Prophet going for a very strong lane transition into objective pushing. He has the power chest now finished. Is still going to go the Eels. It's just too good on that hero.
Yeah, they have silences. It's just a pretty good Eels game in general. Silences, probable Queen of Pain Orchid, Missile that you can dodge, Ravage that you can dodge, Fade Bolt that you can move the debuff from. I mean, there's lots of different things. Dagger you can move the debuff from. It's generally a great Yule's game and obviously a quintessential Death Prophet item.
Gyrocopter, for how much we see this hero, I do feel like there's a little bit of diversity when it comes to his item build. And, you know, he finishes phase boost right there, but
I love this, by the way. They're bringing Tide mid and they're smoking the Gyrocopter straight in. They know that Sand King's in the trees because he broke the smoke. And they pinged it. Maybe they don't know.
They don't know exactly where. They're distracted by the bear. There we go. They find Milan. Boulder Smash hits. Savage Roar pushback on a Gyrocopter running after the bear, but Milan very likely going to be run down. Does not have a Sandstorm. He pops the wand. It's just going to delay the inevitable, though. So they finish him, and now they're going to kill the mid-tier 1 tower on top of that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Tidehunter, he is ready to go with the Ravage. He doesn't have mana currently, but he does have 14 wand charges. They do lose the top tower, though, during this. So a little bit of a trade. But still, mid-tower kill, well played by Singularity. So I go back to Gyrocopter, though. What do you think? Well, what is this build going to be on Gyrocopter this game?
I really would prefer either a Pike or a Manta here, just because there's stuff that you definitely want to get away from in Dispel. Well, Dispel and get away from, particularly the Root and the Silence. He can take it a lot of different directions. I mean, he could even just buy first item BKB and be good. It really depends on how they want to play.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him play pretty greedy, personally. He could always do the build that lots of EU players like to do, the Aghanims. I think the fact that he hasn't queued up an item yet lends me to believe he's still maybe thinking about himself.
Yeah.
That's kind of the nice thing about Gyrocopters. There's so many different items. I won't say so many, but there's SNY, Drums, BKB first, Yasha, BKB, Hurricane Pike, Dragonlance, BKB. A lot of different directions you can take the hero based on sort of what kind of timings you're looking for and how you want to play. I would say they would probably like to fight before there's a Radiance on the bear. Oh, he's actually going Mask of Madness. Interesting. That's not the hero build, but maybe he's going Mask of Madness so he can actually fight earlier and then Radiance. I've seen this a decent amount as well. Definitely a fan. I mean, they don't have a ton of physical damage yet. Gyrocopter's not hitting that hard, so the minus armor on the bear is not going to matter too much. And the extra attack speed is pretty notable on the bear for sure.
Bottom lane. Sand King, he's going in. Going to be lifted up initially. Rube, if anything, trying to keep them away. Maybe the Sacrificial Lamb. Call down, though, and J4 is taking plenty of damage. Addison trying to turn onto him. He ends up getting frozen, though, with a cold feet proc, and eventually gets picked off. So they got the kill on J4, but it came at a cost. Mag having to fall back. Tidehunter, big Tidehunter ultimate on top of the Sonic Wave. It was a fight that just had a couple of sequences back and forth, and it's a finish that's so strong for Singularity. A beautiful combo of the Ravage into the Sonic Wave. Secures the 2 in the end.
Yeah, that's the kind of consequence of getting baited into a teamfight while you don't have split and Mondrive's not ready to rotate.
Yeah, got a little too occupied there. And Tidehunter, by the way, how about this? Helm of the Dominator coming out for him.
This team really likes Helm of the Dominator.
They do. Ursa last game, and now the offlane hero, and Tidehunter gets it this game.
I mean, the AoE attack speed is very, very good for Gyrocopter, especially in any carry like that you have. The AoE attack speed aura is super strong. The HP regen aura, I think, is pretty strong. I don't think... I think he could have just gone just about any item and done the same thing, which is walk up and ravage people. At this point in the game, I can't say I like it too much versus, say, a Guardian Greaves build-up or perhaps a Pipe is what I would like him to get, but I definitely see it as worthwhile.
Well, he's got the Centaur right here. He's going to see Death Prophet, and Mikey's going to keep his distance, so he's just going to take some
Drag
damage
the
and
creeps.
yeah, delay this push here at the bottom.
Death Prophet doesn't even have Exorcism. I don't think he's even trying to push, so kind of felt like a feed on that Centaur, but it doesn't matter at the end.
Well, speaking of feed, this might be a feed on the hero now, too. Mikey a little too comfortable, but he's got a TP. It doesn't matter, though. The magic damage is too much. It goes right through as he tries to TP out. So, yeah, he figured he didn't have a stun, so he'd be fine. Nope. Crypt Swarm, level 4.
There's the 4-staff for Adamson. I really like that he is going the Hurricane Pike.
Okay.
Makes me really happy. Just because they have the root and all this sort of 500-ish range spells.
Laundry's dead.
Got jumped mid.
Yep, I was watching that.
Strike and Clap, and it helps him break the Cold Feet, get away from Exorcism. I mean, I just think it's pretty good to build some distance between himself and these heroes.
Yeah, and a great pick on Laundry middle lane. That also delays his Mask of Madness, by the way, but again, that was the initial jump from Earth Spirit. He's landed some pretty solid boulder smashes this game so far. And sets it up for the Queen of Pain follow-up. The Savage Roar from Excalibur was pretty good, almost kept him alive, but not enough in the end. The Magnetize, if anything, ticking him down. So you see Death Prophet pushing bottom lane. Mikey's here, does have a Ravage. He's going to take an Ice Blast to the face. Kind of walks on up and dies again. So that's back-to-back deaths on him, and that's a Tier 2 tower push now for the Dire team.
Structures are fortified.
Going to be forced to use a fortification here. But again, fighting into an Exorcism always feels very scary. Bashrock's just going to do what he can to delay, but now he gets jumped. Thunderclap initiation from Mag. Just going to throw up the silence, hoping maybe get support. Trying to roll away. Mag blocks it. He'll be fine now.
Radiant's bottom tower.
All right, so they're pushing the top lane meanwhile, the top tier 2.
Is under attack.
They do not have fortification, but they do have Milan jumping in with a primal split. They catch Gyrocopter. Ice Blast flying on through as well. Lift on a Queen of Pain. She managed to get hit by it. Down goes Gyrocopter. And now Queen of Pain has to blink away and TP out as Solon also. Oh, he finishes off the Sand King with the stolen Crypt Swarm at least. So well played there in the end. But
that was a really good rotations from Double Dimension. One thing I'd really like to see from Ditya here that I think he's going to do is the Vit booster into BKB, which is, I'm not exactly sure who started this, but essentially what you do is you can't really rush the Octarine Core or Aeon Disc that you want so early. You'd rather get a BKB, but you want more HP, so typically what they'll very often do is buy the Vit booster and then go BKB. He has it queued up, but he could just get the straight Octarine Core or Aeon Disc if he wants. Pretty interesting he has it queued up. Kind of worried about this Queen of Pain Orchid timing. It looks like it's not going to happen maybe even before 20-22 minutes. And by then, I don't know, they'll be closing in on Radiance for Excalibur. He's going to farm really fast with the Mask of Madness and Bounty Runes. They'll have Yules plus one big item on Ditya, whatever he chooses to go. They already have the Blink on Mag with the Brewmaster. They're about to get Sand King's Blink. I mean, it looks like you're closing in on some good item timings for Double Dimension. As far as Gyro concerned, he's getting the Hurricane Pike, which is very strong this game.
Yeah.
Just worried. I feel like the Quap is not nearly where he should be considering how free his lane was. I mean, I guess he's made a lot of rotations. He doesn't have. They don't have that many tier. I mean, they have all the tier 1 towers. They're actually doing really great on towers. I guess he's just been moving a little bit too much to be as farmed as, say, Death Prophet.
Yeah, that is something, because you're right. It's not like he's just doing bad. I mean, he's 5-0-1. He's 7,000 net worth. But I think it's just Death Prophet just making him look like he's not doing as good, because Death Prophet really is somehow just accelerated in this game. And 3,000 gold more saved out. He's going to have a BKB at this rate, as he now has queued up.
He skipped the Vit booster altogether.
Yeah.
Just going straight BKB. I mean, it's like an amazing BKB game. It's almost entirely magic damage at this point. I mean, not much more to even say.
Yeah, almost having that finished, and that's going to be a timing where Singularity, they're going to have difficult time fighting against Double Dimension once that is picked up for sure. But and then it kind of goes to that window as you're stressing here. Not only the Mask of Madness finished, but that Radiance is the key, as it usually is, on the Lone Druid. And when he gets that, the game kind of changes to the benefit of the Lone Druid team. And so Double Dimension has that to look forward to as well, already having a 3,000 net worth lead. And when you're down against a Lone Druid without the Radiance, that feels that much worse.
Didier is so farmed, I don't even think they were expecting to have the BKB so much earlier than the Radiance. It's kind of a little awkward, because Lone Druid really doesn't want to play with them yet. I mean, they can so easily go as forward with the Death Prophet and the BKB.
What have we here?
Worthy tribute.
That's a good point. That's where you could argue, you know, is BKB the best thing to get right now for Death Prophet? Maybe instead a little bit more of a build, like, can he sacrifice going to drums maybe? But no, just wants the BKB ASAP.
Damage!
To be able to use right here.
I could see something like Force Staff being useful if you wanted to get that before BKB, but I think the nice thing about having BKB for early here is you're not going to feed a streak.
Dire's bottom tower
I believe he's still on a kill streak. And not only that, but if Death Prophet's dead, that opens up the map, and especially the Roche for Singularity if they want to get that. So having him have that, I mean, it's very, very useful.
Yeah.
It does kind of suck because it seems like he's not going to use it for the next couple of minutes, most likely.
It does, yeah. Adamson working on his own BKB now after the Hurricane Pike finish. You're stressing how important of an item that was for him to have. So we're seeing some key timings here.
I love Adamson's build. That's the exact build I would have gone for.
Queen of Pain, that Orchid, is almost finished now. Just essentially needs the recipe. And then he'll be good to go having that picked up. But Death Prophet moving with the rest of the team. Again, has that BKB. You can just tell they want to use it as well as the Exorcism.
Yeah.
Looking for a fight. Milan, he's looking for a jump himself with that blink. Not going to find one, though. And I guess credit to Singularity that they're not giving them these easy openings right now in this game. Knowing the advantage that Death Prophet specifically has. But again, it's like, so that's good, but at the same time, they're also not accomplishing a lot themselves. And then meanwhile, Lone Druid's still just farming away towards that Radiance. So very interesting spot, really, to be in. Is DD going to try for a Roshan? They sure are.
Looks like it. They spent like 5 minutes trying to force a fight with the Exorcism, look for a pick-off with the Sand King Burrow Strike and Blink. They weren't able to accomplish much, so they're just going to say, you know what, we'll go on Roshan. If they don't want to fight us, then we're going to get a free Aegis.
Rubik gets the ward down. They have a good idea that something's happening.
They know it's happening. They're shifting towards it now. But you have no Blink on your Tide. I mean, how do you really open up even if they're condensed into the Roche pit? You have to just kind of awkwardly walk up.
Yeah. It's a tough spot.
Really happen.
Is under attack.
Double Dimension will secure it. And now it's an Aegis on Death Prophet as he heads back towards the top lane. Again, Exorcism is wearing off, though, so will not have that threat if they pick up a fight up here. In fact, Didier just charging on in, so again, with that Aegis, he's feeling very comfortable. Oh, nice getaway. Great job by your Spirit there. Managed to avoid death, so yeah, Silence not hitting and escapes it.
Radiant
so kind of a reset for the Radiant side. But Lone Druid, how's that Radiant's timing? 3,000 gold saved up, so in the next couple of minutes he should have
25 minutes, yeah.
And as we know, that's where things start to get even that much more difficult. Now, you just got the Orchid finished on Quap, so yeah, if you're the Radiant side, definitely finding a pick would be huge here.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to kill Brewmaster if you have an Orchid here. Oh, but he blinks out immediately. Really good reaction time.
So easy unless that happens. Unless they're just that quick. So, good reaction indeed by Brewmaster, and he's sticking around. He's ready to go back in. Again, they don't have Exorcism right now. So it'd be a little bit of a greedy decision, it feels like, for the Dire side to pick up a fight right here. Mac, okay, Primal Split. Silence is going to miss. After the side, who do they catch over here? That was the Sand King initially. He's going to survive for now. Ice Blast hits Queen of Pain, and she's forced to run. BKB pop from Ditnirod. The Ravage coming out very defensive as Queen of Pain manages to blink away from the Siphon to stay alive for the time being. Nobody dead outside of the Sand King somehow, as there's a lift. A Purge. Mikey, though, great blink. Speaking of these blink reactions, but the blink to follow him up, and he's going to go for a TP. I don't think that's... Oh, Kraken Shell, man. Kraken Shell is pretty strong. He manages to live. The fact that only Sand King died after all of that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, but you got to think that's with no exorcism. I'm pretty sure if
True.
they had exorcism there, that's 2 or 3 kills for double dimension, and no radiance, and it still looks pretty decent for them overall. So I have a couple of concerns for Singularity, if that's what that looks like.
Invisibility.
Mr. catching Queen of Bam finally landing the Yule Silence.
Oh, but that invis he had bottled up
Double damage.
keeps him alive, actually. Buys time to blink out. But yeah, you're right. Unless Singularity's winning these fights or exchanges, really, then it doesn't feel like that they're really accomplishing a lot of it, right? Where it's, yeah, sure, they won 1-0 as you're getting with the Sand King, but a lot was used. Exorcism not for the Death Prophecy has it ready now. And in fact, they're going to almost catch tied again. These blink reactions. Manages to avoid it there. As Rubik able to keep his distance, currently still Sandstorm.
Radiant structures are fortified.
There's another exorcism, though,
Radiant's middle
from the
tower
Death
is
Prophet.
under
So that's
attack.
at least the Tier 2 middle tower. The Sacred Relic is on the Spirit Bear, so he's hitting plenty hard.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And that Radiance,
Dire's
about
top
300
tower
gold away
is
from
under
being
attack.
finished.
It's still Vegas.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, they don't.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Evaporated. So kind of forcing it. Of course, that means Exorcism is now down, and the Bear's actually going to get picked off, though, it looks like. Okay. Nice little bounty there for
Dire's
SNG.
top tower is under attack.
And the rest will run away. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter, he was split pushing the top lane, so Singularity is doing a lot of this, almost distracting themselves this game. And Gerald's able to farm with it.
Yeah, they're just trying to buy time, and they know they couldn't fight that straight into the Aegis Exorcism, but they made a really smart move to just immediately delete the Death Buffer with the Exorcism and not play coy with that and let him get extra tower damage unnecessarily.
BKB on Brewmasters almost finished as well, so we're seeing that pop out here quite a bit. You mentioned, especially against this Radiant side, very strong item. So maybe makes sense there. That instead of, say, the Aeon disc, as we saw last game. Ooh, bottom lane. Again, these blinks. Like, even Death Prophet has the blink dagger and using it there to escape. A close call.
I'll take
Yeah, I
it.
believe he bought Blink this game more as like a damage distribution item, just because regularly he's not the highest move speed, and there's a lot of stuff they can kite with Rolling Boulder, fast move speed on Gyro, Blinks, etc. And the Blink allows him to give the center a fight, siphon a bunch of heroes, not really take any damage because he has a BKB and the siphons, and actually just distribute the damage pretty more widespread.
Well, if this game is anything like the first game, it's, I guess, Singularity is exactly where they want to be. Down 4,000 net worth. I'm feeling like that they
It's
are
a lot.
behind.
I think it's a lot closer in both respects. I think the ability to flip the game is a lot less likely, and I also think the game itself is less close,
Yeah. I agree there, for sure.
or less far apart rather.
Well, and it kind of goes back to the Lone Druid, too, who now has that Radiance finished, and we talk about a hero that, you know, will potentially scale very well as this game continues to go on and on. You know, how do you deal with
I
that
mean,
bear later on? So
Essentially, they've played this game a vast majority of it 4v5, and they have a goal lead for
Yeah.
Double Dimension. And they're identical in terms of build. Actually, Double Dimension's doing better in terms of buildings by 1, Tier 2 tower. So I think they're in a pretty comfortable spot.
it literally has been 4v5, and to stress that is Lone Druid's
0,
0-1 and 0,
yeah.
yeah. So 11 kills for the team. He's been involved in none of them at 26.5 minutes. So yeah, he's been playing PvE. He's been farming some creeps.
To be fair, he's been there as like a menacing presence here and there, as well as he's helped with some building, so he's not totally useless, but it's definitely not the same as any other hero who all have assisting kills.
So the bear up at the top, Savage roars away, and he'll manage to be fine. Queen of Pain, BKB on him, almost finished as well, so I feel like we're saying that a lot here. It's a popular item on both sides, apparently. On what's to come. The pipe for Tidehunter is coming along, too. I know you mentioned that earlier. I'd like to see that. Speaking of Tide, well, he has a Hood of Defiance. That'll delay it a little bit. Again, gets caught, though, middle lane. He's dead for 50.
Yeah, it's an amazing pipe game. Just generally, you have Radiance, which always means it's a good pipe game, and then a decent amount of magic damage with Crypt Swarm and Burshak and Sand King Ultimate.
Rubik
Dire's
choosing to get the...
bottom
Oh,
tower
yeah,
is under
Mastermind
attack.
top lane. He's trying to run away from the bear, and actually now Rubik's in trouble. Stole the Sandstorm. That's not going to help him too much, though.
He died for good cause.
Well, bottom lane, what is this about? That was a BKB use on Gyrocopter, just to TP away.
Dire's bottom tower.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and there's
is
not
under
much.
attack.
The only thing that'll cancel their BKB is the root from Lone Druid Bear, and he was obviously top, so I think generally
Gold. for my
BKB
top.
TPing is pretty safe unless you get RNG'd by the bear root.
It's safe, but the fact he had to use that to simply get
the
out
charge
is...
Yeah, it does suck to use the charge for sure.
It's not good. Not good news for the Radiant side, so gonna kind of reset. There is a lot of avoiding going on, and you know, it kind of makes sense, right? But it's more so for the side of Singularity, trying to avoid these fights. When do they ever get to a point where they're like, okay, we can now move as 5 and look to pick a fight, or are they just always going to be playing this way, you think?
Yeah, I think the Butterfly for Gyrocopter's a big timing, and the BKB for Queen of Pain, and they're closing in on both those. The BKB for Queen of Pain sooner rather than later, and the Butterfly in the next few minutes is once he gets Butterfly and Gyro, he's far less afraid of Lone Druid, particularly with the bear, and also he has more armor, more move speed, so he's less afraid of Exorcism, and he does steal significantly more damage.
Yeah.
Has more tech speed. So I think the hero dynamically changes, I think, on Gyrocopter with the level 20 talent of 50 move speed and the Butterfly.
Middle lane, Solin, he gets caught. Now Sand King jump, and then
Radiant's middle
plenty of
tower
follow-up.
is
He's done
under
for
attack.
50 seconds, actually.
Radiant structures
No buyback, and now
That's
comes the
for sure.
Exorcism. Yeah, do they even fight this, really? Like, is it worth
I
it?
can't see them not losing that.
Radiant's
They're going. Titan of the Ravage coming out. They're going to burst down the Death Prophet, actually, so no more Exorcism to worry about. In fact, the BKB's on both the cores. On the Radiant side, they want to chase more. The Bear's in trouble. Excalibur does have a resummon. Oh, nice Boulder Smash done. It stops the TP, actually. And now Excalibur's in trouble. Bear goes down. Meanwhile, Milan jumps in with the epicenter. However, Mastermind has to respect that Ice Blast on top. Very good land, but they do pick up the Lone Druid. And a Mastermind, he's in trouble still. A nice Boulder Smash done again, though. Brewmaster trying to finish the job. Milan finally will with the Burrow Strike. But now Mag going toe-to-toe with the Earth Spirit and Tidehunter. Meanwhile, the chase is real with Gyrocopter. He's running down Ancient Apparition this whole time. And he will actually kill him over there on the minimap. But now back over here, Earth Spirit. Yeah, space created indeed. They kill the Earth Spirit. BKB popped by Mag for this. As he's trying to run now, Solon cannot lift because of the BKB. And that will be an escape for him. But that burst damage, though, of Singularity.
Yeah, I think their whole approach there was wrong. All you have to do is sit the Death Prophet slightly behind the bear and wait for them to commit some sort of spells on the bear, and then you commit back and BKB on the Death Prophet, and you're taking a Rax there for sure. Regardless of what happens, Exorcism will naturally take a Rax for you if you're BKB'd and not dead.
Yeah, that, you know, flashbacks to last game a little bit. I feel like it's similar situations where Double Dimension getting kind of a little bit of a comfortable lead, perhaps, and pushing 5 versus 4 in that case. And the positioning, though, and you also have to give credit to Singularity, you know, the coordinated burst that they had on that Death Prophet. Last game with a Juggernaut in that case. Ice Blast, by the way, it scouts out this Roshan attempt. And that means they are going to
seems
fall
that
back.
Singularity functions far better as a team from these two games that I'm getting. And Double Dimension is a much more individualistic approach to the game.
Yeah.
And maybe less cohesion and teamwork for sure. And it ends up multiple times throughout these two games costing them a lot.
Well, Roshan, again, still plenty of life, so it's not like they can go in and ninja this now, but both sides are in the area, ready to fight. There would be a cheese this time, if they were to get it. Death Prophet, Soul Booster finished. I mentioned that Octarine Core. Very likely going to be coming sooner than later. That Butterfly, though, finished on Gyrocopter. Again, a key item, as you stressed.
Scanning.
As well as the pipe, for that matter. So Singularity's maybe getting a little more comfortable now in terms of picking fights here. With some big item pickups. Lone Druid, the bear is on cooldown for 40 seconds still, so he has one up, but the point is, if he loses this one, could be an opening for the other side, and he will summon it back. So AC's almost finished on him, by the way, too.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
As they're going to take out the bottom shrine. Not much you can do about that if you're Singularity here.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
With AC coming along, speaking of buildings, how fast they're going to drop with the Exorcism as well as that bear. But it seems like Singularity really wants to finish this Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really bad if you give that to, say, Death Prophet, and then you can't first, and then you have systems afterwards, or what have you. But it looks like interesting that Double Dimension's just smoking into their base.
Yeah.
What have we
Maybe
here?
try and go for Rax as this bot creep wave arrives?
Back door still up. Oh,
Really?
God. They have a vulnerability or
They may even
fortification.
get two. No, they don't.
So there's Roshan. As you mentioned, though, will they get two now? I mean, they're definitely going to be picking a fight here.
They're going to... As long
Push
as
it.
Death
Wow.
Prophet doesn't get instantly killed again, they'll
There
get
we
two.
go. Ravage on top. Here we go. Speaking of the instant kill, down goes Sand King. Death Prophet at least got off his BKB. The Siphon keeping him alive for the time being. Mikey will go down. Did his job, though, in a sense. As where's Gyrocopter? He's pushing middle lane during all of this. He did not have a TP. Is that why? Well, now he's back into the fight. He pops the BKB. The call down's coming down. Mag's going to TP out himself with his own BKB, and he'll survive. But Death Prophet instead, as is the Ancient Apparition. The Bear's being run down from Lone Druid. Lone Druid himself is actually back at the top lane and resummons the Bear. So, yeah, Gyrocopter got there very late. But when he did, put out some good damage, but they did lose the melee rack bottom too.
Yeah, and the melee X mid as well. It's gonna make it pretty hard. I mean, they still have the Aegis, and he has the 50 move speed in the Butterfly on Gyrocopter, which changes the hero. Like I said, it just feels like a totally different hero when you head late game it. Hit those two big power spikes. As far as going high ground here, I mean, they have decent potential. 35 seconds on DP ultimate, he has buyback, but no exorcism.
Gyrocopter going in.
They're just gonna buy time. They don't want to use the Death Prophet all if they don't have to.
Exactly. Buy some time, but how much are they willing to lose? At least a tier 3 tower. Looks like it's very possible. The Ice Blast connects on a Queen of Pain at least. And debuff also on Gyrocopter though. And he has that Aegis. There's a jump in. Queen of Pain also has the cheese. Will he get off in time? Doesn't even need to get a Sonic Wave in response. They're going to get the turn kill on Milan at least. They do lose the Gyrocopter. The 8 is going to pop back up. There's the cheese in at the last second with Queen of Pain. But she's rooted up this whole time. Finally gets the blink off. But she was Croc Control that whole time, dealing no damage. Mikey jumping back in. No Ravage just yet. That flat cannon auto attack dealing plenty. But Addison going to be wearing off. And with no Aegis, he has to respect that. They get the kill to J4. Nice 4-step over the ledge. And he'll be good for the time being. They do catch up to an Earth Spirit, though, as they find him. But again, this is an Exorcism commitment. And there was a buyback on Sand King, it looks like, during that as well. So the cores get back.
Going Rapier. Wow.
Oh my God, he is. You're right. Okay.
I mean, if he gets it, that's horrifying. The amount of damage with flat cannon it'd be insane.
It kind of feels like maybe it is a game for that, to be fair. They're down 2 melee racks already. They're going up against a Lone Druid Death Prophet with plenty of farm. Like, do they really have the longest time left? So why not? I like it. Makes sense.
Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
And he's going to push
I've actually
up
seen
top.
quite a lot of Rapier on Gyrocopter.
He's a safe hero for it.
Yeah. Just because you know what you're getting. I mean, you know you have flat cannons, so you know if you're hitting people, everyone's getting hit. And with a Rapier in that respect, it's scary.
That's the biggest thing, I think, with the Divine Rapier, right? It's like sometimes you get it with the intention that, yeah, you're going to be dealing plenty of damage, but you also play extra scared because you have it. And you're like, if I die, then the game's over. But Gyrocopter, as you mentioned with the flat cannon, he can kind of safely sit back and deal plenty of damage to everyone and not being scared necessarily.
Not only that, but he's running on haste speed and he has a BKB hero, practically haste speed.
Unstoppable.
Nice catch. Ancient Apparition's dead for 50. No buyback on him. Perhaps an opening. No Ice Blast to worry about. Exorcism just came off cooldown, thanks to Octarine Core.
There's a massive leaf bottom that can't be discredited.
Oh, true.
It's definitely going to need a range Rax, and then where it goes from there, I'm not sure.
There's a Ravage jumping, excuse me. Death Prophet going to be blowing up. He does have a buyback. He'll use it immediately. Meanwhile, Brewmaster, he's being locked in. He can't get off the Primal Split just yet. Can he get off in time? The BKB use? Yes, he can. He finally will. Hurricane Pike away from Gyrocopter. He already used his BKB. He's trying to live now as he runs away, gets feared away. In fact, to help a little bit, the Burrow Strike barely missed him, and he's keeping his distance. Now Sand King is going to go down. No buyback for him for 70 seconds. As the Radiant team keeping pushback. Didneros running in with a BKB. He does not want to let them fully retreat. Lift up on a Queen of Pain. Going to delay here. At least may get the kill on a Sullen. No, they turn kill actually on a Brewmaster. What a steal with a Burrow Strike coming out from Sullen. And the kite is real on Death Prophet during this whole fight as well. That Exorcism still has a little bit of time left. Out comes the Ice Blast, puts a debuff up. The lag kicking in, it looks like. As now Death Prophet is in trouble. The Exorcism wearing off, heals on up, but now he needs to survive somehow. Gets a buyback from Brewmaster. Mikey falling back, realizing they're focusing him in the meantime. Addison, the Flak Cannon, dealing plenty of damage still. 4 staff away as they turn their attention to him. The Kite Man is so powerful from the Radiant side. Now, while this is all happening, you mentioned that Creep Wave bottom. It's going to get a Tier 4 tower.
Yeah.
So positive for Double Dimension at least there.
Yeah, they got a range racks too, so range racks and Tier 4 tower. And that middle fight was chaos with all sorts of stuff happening, but I think the biggest takeaway is Gyro's about to have a rapier.
Yep.
I know that doesn't even have all that much to do with the fight, but he's about to have a rapier. And that's, I think, going to dynamically change. Now, they do have Blade Mail on the bear, and maybe they, I don't think they realize he's going rapier, considering it could easily be, well, MKB.
True, but it's like almost like a just-in-case precaution, too. You mentioned Blade Mail, that's probably the best counter to the item, right?
Or Daedalus, rather. And yeah, it's a decent counter. The thing is, he's rocking 24 armor. Hopefully he gets more, but it's going to deal the same damage type back. So he's going to be able to tank it a little bit, but he obviously can't right-click the Blade Mail 5-10 times. It'll kill him for sure.
Has to focus on that life pool of his. He has a Flat Cannon up and attacking in general. But it's finished, and they're smoked up. Everyone but the Queen of Pain, actually, who has a Nullifier, by the way. We've been so focused on that Gyro. We have a Nullifier now on Queen of Pain.
Pretty good against Death Prophet who can't BKB or Yules if they get the Nullifier. And then the follow-up damage, particularly magic damage, is going to be super useful against that.
You know that fight's coming. Bottom lane, again, the push is there. So the Radiant team, they have to make a move quickly. Here we go. Addison into the base. Leading the way in the backlands. Here the epicenter being channeled, trying to get a big jump to while they jump on top of the BKB reaction. And now Death Prophet, he's in trouble. He goes down. He has no buyback. What a reaction with the BKB. The Primal Split coming up for Brewmaster. They killed her Spirit. You see the stolen Exorcism, by the way, from Solon. That's why it's still up. I was wondering. That's a bit of a threat itself. Buyback on Earth Spirit. SNG. They do send back the, well, so Earth Spirit, that's what he's doing. He's defending the bottom lane. As the Bear is going to get picked off here, most likely. Yeah, Bear is dead. He will have a resummon. But 120 seconds, no Death Prophet. Do they go Tier 4? Or they clean up racks?
I don't think they might tease it. They might tease it and see if Death Prophet's willing to buy back. And once they realize he can't, they're going to go all in, I bet.
Exorcism just wearing off there for Solon, but they still have plenty of damage. Yeah, Double Dimension, they can't defend this. Once again, Singularity, just like the first game, they're down in net worth essentially the whole game until the very end. And this might just be it. I mean, Sand King's up in 2 seconds. That's going to be their last stand. Get a jump from him. He does not have Epicenter, unfortunately.
You just wait 5 seconds and BKB your Gyro. And then
True.
You just will right-click the throne, honestly.
Yeah, this should be it. There we go. He pops the BKB, going right for the Ancient, finishes the job. Singularity's going to take the series 2 games to nothing over Double Dimension. that never felt. I've never felt so just like one-sided for one team. And as far as net worth leads in both games, yet it's 2-0 for the other team. It just, I mean, look at that chart again. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand Dota anymore.
I'm pretty impressed with how much of a team Singularity actually plays. Like a lot of these, I wouldn't say lower tier because that's definitely not accurate, but these non-LAN playing teams start to be, well, not consistent and not play very well as a team, and they're definitely an anomaly in my mind for sure, for where they're at, from what I'm seeing, anyways.
Singularity, I want to say they did play in at least one minor event. I'm trying to look back. I thought they qualified for one LAN, but maybe
they
not.
did.
Let's see.
Are sure wasn't the last there was another. The old Singularity was Kingwin.
Okay, maybe it was them then. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, because I am looking back, and now that I'm looking back, it doesn't look like that they actually played at a LAN itself. So yeah, never mind there. But yeah, no, I'm with you. This is a team that they had to play from behind both games, but because of their great teamwork, they managed to win both games, and that's scary, going up against them. So, congrats to Singularity and Double Dimension. Perhaps star power wise, the more expected team you would have thought to come out on top, but again, despite both games having the lead, I think you really explained it the best. And some people might find it, however they will, insult, whatever. But yeah, Double Dimension, they were playing more in individuals. They were using their star power in that sense. And yes, great players across the board. But when it came to playing as a team, Singularity just seemed that much better. And that goes to show you that that definitely can help you with success. So, well, that's our first series done of the day as Singularity defeats Double Dimension. As I mentioned, 3 best-of-3s in total for today's coverage. The next one lined up is going to be OG versus Team Moriarty. We'll go with that. Team Moriarty, one of the open qualifier teams. Actually, it looks like basically a makeup of Romanian players. I can't say I recognize really any of them. So,
only one I particularly recognize is Illusionist. I see him very often playing foreign pubs. Everyone else I don't really know too well, but yeah. I mean, anyone going into any matchup against OG in this qualifier is going to be, people are going to predict OG, but we'll see what Moriarty has to offer, and who knows? I mean, anything can really happen. It's an open qualifier, or, well, closed qualifier after all.
That and these European qualifiers in general, again, not having as mentioned, no liquid like OG, sure, the big name team. Then you got maybe a Kingwin as well, but there's plenty of teams in here that's like makeups where you got the Mad Lad squad, right? You know, Madara, Koikva, Keizu, Cinderin, that squad there. You have going in, which is Oliver, Boogie, DNZ, R-Man. So you have some of these teams that are makeup of players that are like, oh, okay, you know, similar to Double Dimension right here. If they get things clicking, they could definitely make an impact. And this is a major qualifier. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a pretty open major qualifier here.
Yeah, I 100% agree. This is the first event in probably like a month for some of these teams, right? Or for some of them ever. Like, for example, Mad Lads. I haven't seen them play at all. And I think this is definitely the first event in the season for some of these teams that are recently put together. So I think that's good to see really what you're working with. Like Double Dimension can go back to the drawing board in terms of their cohesion and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And teamwork.
All right.
And yeah.
Fun game, fun series, and we are going to be going to a break here. Again, as far as that next series, OG versus Moriarty, it's set to happen in about an hour from now, a little under an hour from now. So, again, because this was a 2-0 series, ending a little bit earlier. So, and actually, well, let me double check that, because it actually might be an hour and a. Oh yeah, so it's at 17:30. So a little over an hour even, about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm gonna keep the stream on, just have some rad music for you guys to play. But that's when we're gonna be coming back. It's 17:30 Central European time, or 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Looking at here. So, again, just over an hour from now, we got OG versus Team Moriarty. And then later on, the winner of that series will play Team Singularity in the winter finals to determine who goes on to the playoff stage and who will be going down to the losers bracket. So, again, I was BreakyCPK, joined by Henry, guys. This is the MDL European coverage. Stay tuned. Got more coming up here in a bit.